What's up YouTube? Capital G here, checking out this new and crazy good Link monster that just got revealed coming out of Ignition Assault. This is Cloth Heap. It's an Earth Beast monster, 700 attack. It is also a Link 2. Its Link points are bottom left and bottom right, which are definitely ideal for a Link 2. And its summoning conditions are just any two monsters with different names. So basically it's a nightmare monster, which obviously is super easy to summon. You got a hard once per turn on this card's effect. It says if a monster or monsters is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can apply the following effects according to the type of monster this card points to. So if it points to a ritual, you can draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. If it points to a fusion, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard. If it points to a synchro monster, all monsters you control gain 700 attack. Lastly, if this card points to an exceed monster, all monsters your opponent controls lose 700 attack. Okay, so first things first, the synchro and exceed effect of this card are not very good. They're basically throwaway effects. Gaining 700 attack really only could be like really beneficial, I guess, if you have like 4 or more monsters on the field. Then I could see you cranking out a ton of damage and that effect mattering. The Exceed effect, where your opponent's monsters lose 700 attack, that's even worse than the Synchro effect, which I already think is kind of bad. The Ritual effect, ironically, is really strong. Drawing 2 cards and then discarding any 2 cards out of your hand, that's definitely a legitimate effect. That can fix your entire hand. The problem with that is ritual decks just aren't very, like, they're not very good when it comes to like link summoning. They're historically not known to kind of use that mechanic all that much. And really, when you think about ritual decks and the way that they put a bunch of monsters on board, it's generally done with the incantations, but those lock you out of the extra deck. So that's why ritual decks don't really link summon that much. The main effect on here that is crazy powerful, that I 100% believe that you will see a lot of, is the fusion effect. So the fusion effect just summons a level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard, and if you are playing a fusion based archetype, especially one of the ones from the Arc V era, these archetypes that do not have their own dedicated link monsters like Lunalights and Fluffles, both of those decks can make this card pretty easily, especially a deck like Lunalights. We see all the spamming with Kaleido Chick and Yellow Martin right now. Lunalights can easily summon this, and then both of those decks obviously are going to fusion summon. So the second that you fusion summon, you get the monster reborn, one of your monsters. And I like it because there's really no restrictions on the monster. It's not like the monster can't attack or the monster can't activate its effects or anything like that. That monster can do anything that you want it to do, and it can still be used for materials for link summoning or, fusion summoning, whatever you want to do. I also think that it's really cool if you combine this with instant fusion. People are already starting to, garner some comparisons to something like Outer Entity Norden, where if you just instant fusion out something like a Thousand Eyes Restrict, you get to summon a monster from your graveyard as well. So it basically turns something like instant fusion into 2 monsters, which is crazy cool. Heck, I even saw Lithium playing this in Thunder Dragons and Shadow variants, and he did a really smart play where he used instant fusion, summoned Thousand Eyes, sucked up one of his opponent's monsters, used the Thousand Eyes as material to summon this, fusion summoned again, and then reborn the Thousand Eyes to suck up another monster his opponent had on the field, and then continued using the Thousand Eyes for link material and stuff like that. So honestly, this card is kind of a godsend to decks like Fluffles and other archetypes like Lunalights, because those decks used to play things like Psyframe, Lambda, and while those cards are okay, this card actually does something. It actually benefits you for fusion summoning, for doing what your archetype wanted to do. Honestly, if this was just like the Fluffle official link monster, I'd have been like, this card was amazing, but the fact that all of those fusion archetypes could use this card will 100% see play. I think that mainly it'll just be used in fusion decks, but it's a very strong card. Getting a monster reborn for most of the monsters in your archetype is not something to sneeze at, and it makes instant fusion way more powerful. So whatever you guys think of Cloth Heat, leave it in the comment section below. I think this card is amazing, and best of all, I feel like it's only going to be like a common, so Fluffle players rejoice. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.